everybody, and welcome to our course on the female triathlete's secret to optimizing performance. So if you've ever wondered about why you feel so tired, why the workout you've conquered last week feels so hard today, then this course is aimed at solving that mystery for you and helping to decode and debunk some of the myths and give you some tips and tricks to use to help work with your body and with your menstrual cycle to really enhance and supercharge your training for triathlon. So my name is Gemma and I'm the creator of this course. I'm a qualified personal trainer, I'm a triathlon coach, and I run my own team, block coaching and race team. I'm also a very active triathlete. I've raced for GB, I still race for GB at Worlds and Europeans, and I'm also a mum of two. So I've got a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. From my own experience and learnings of a coach, I've developed this course for you, and I have a massive interest in helping women to be the best versions of themselves. It's really important to me that we make your training and your time, because we don't have much of it, do we, as efficient as possible to get you the best you possibly can. This course is a comprehensive guide designed to empower you as a female triathlete. So whether you're a beginner, a competitive age grouper, or even if you're just thinking about getting started, this course is designed to help you get the most from your training and also your racing. It's designed for triathlon coaches as well. So if you're a guy, you're still in the right place. We're going to tell you all about how to support your female friends, colleagues, athletes. We can help you learn more about the women's menstrual cycle, the effect of training strategies on that, and vice versa, and also what to do about it and helping you improve your athletes' training and well-being. So a really rounded approach as women and for coaches in general too. Let's not beat around the bush. Women have unique physical differences compared to men, particularly concerning our hormonal fluctuations, our recovery and our nutrition. We don't want to continue to view our menstrual cycles as a hindrance. Let's start working with them and not against them and really get the most out of our training and our racing. This course, I'm not going to tell you what not to do. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do, and you do not have to follow everything in this course. Every female's period and menstrual cycle is different. We don't run like clockwork. There's no algorithm for it. You can't put it into AI and it'll tell you this is what's going to happen over your month. It just doesn't work like that. Our bodies are unique and special. So bear that in mind as we go through the course, okay? I want you to take out the bits that apply to you. I want you to experiment with the hints and the tips that we've got. The first thing I would like you to really do, now this is what having said there's no musts, this is probably the only must for you, and that's to track your period so you know how you feel with your energy, what your symptoms are, what your appetite is like, how strong you feel with your training, how motivated you feel, things like that. And then be really conscious of the effects of where you are in your cycle. And then we can start to make small changes to your routines with all of the information that we've gathered from that. But also, I'm not going to blind you with science through this course. We are not going to go into the really technical details. This course is designed to give you functional, fundamental knowledge and tips and hints that you can directly impact into your training immediately. If I give you too much information, it's too scientific, and you're just sat there thinking, what the hell is she talking about? You're not going to go away with any practical knowledge, and you're not going to go away with the confidence that you need to go bam, 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 these are the things that I can change. Whilst I've done the technical research, I've got the research papers, which are all at the end of the course. If you want to have a look at where all of this information comes from and the studies that backs them up, you are more than welcome to. But this course is really going to drill down into the functional, immediate impact things that you can do. So the key practical knowledge and the tips to empower you really to train and race and keep your nutrition habits as efficient and as productive as possible. So this is a really good quote. We've been on this slide for a while now, sorry. This is a really good quote from Paula Radcliffe. I had my period on the day of the 2024 London Marathon. It definitely affects performance. And I had to take that into account when planning my races and training. I want you to have a just quick think. Do you plan your races around when you think your period will be? Do you plan your training around when you think your period will be? Do you know how your period and each part of your menstrual cycle affect your training? Or do you just go through day by day, week by week, and get to some points and think, oh, this is really hard today, I can't be bothered. Oh, why do I feel so crap today? wow, I feel like superwoman, but you haven't quite put all those pieces together yet. So this is what we're going to work on through this course, which brings us nicely here to our 6 chapters. So this is what we're going to explore with you throughout the kind of stage of this course. So chapter 1 is our introduction. We are going to warm up with this course and we'll explore the female athlete. It's an overview of how women's bodies respond to training differently to men, because we do. We'll consider the gender disparities in sports science research. We'll just touch on where the research comes from and who the subjects are for most of the research, and how we'd benefit from more targeted strategies for women. We'll then have a quick look at the key female hormones that affect our training, so estrogen, progesterone and testosterone. And these are the key foundations in understanding our body's function and how our bodies change and how they work throughout our monthly cycle. So we're not going into too much detail. They're the 3 most scientific terms we're going to use through this course, as well as the phases, names of the phases of our menstrual cycle, but don't panic, okay? Chapter 2, we're going to move on in more detail to explore the impact of our menstrual cycle on endurance, strength and recovery. So everybody, like I said earlier, everybody is different. We are all unique. We all experience our periods differently, and this is really important for us to consider. And especially if you're coaching female athletes, don't just say, well, she's in this phase, her hormones are doing this, so this is how she feels. That's not necessarily true, because we all have different fluctuation levels of hormones. So I'll come back to that. I'll get carried away. So I'll introduce you a little bit more to the technical terms here relating to the 4 phases of your menstrual cycle, and we'll delve into how each of these phases affect your endurance, power and recovery. I'll give you some more tips as well here, so you can start implementing some tips and hints straight from chapter 2 on how to optimize your training around your cycle. So you'll get better results, you'll feel stronger, you'll feel less tired, you'll get less injuries, and you'll just feel great throughout every week of your cycle, which is what we want, isn't it? Chapter 3, we're going to have a bit of a deep dive into our strength and conditioning. We'll look at strength and conditioning specifically for female triathletes and understand the importance of being strong in order to improve our running, swimming, cycling endurance, and also why some cross-training added into that will really benefit you as well. Chapter 4 then progresses from chapter 3, and we'll look a lot at recovery and rest. So it's a really important chapter not to be missed. We'll discuss everything about recovery, rest and injury prevention, all specifically tailored to our hormonal fluctuations and us as women. We'll uncover the science of recovery, and we'll have a look at why women have shorter recovery windows and how to maximize our rest period. So recovery ultimately is probably the biggest secret to triathlon training. So if we don't stop and recover, we'll fail. It's that simple. So we'll explore how to prevent and mitigate some common injuries that female triathletes suffer with and why, particularly during certain stages of our periods. And then we'll end on looking at some sleep and rest strategies for optimal performance, because our needs vary compared to men. And then some best practices for incorporating rest days, naps and sleep cycles into your training routine. Chapter 5, this is a really good one. So we're going to explore nutrition and fueling for us as female triathletes. We're going to have a look at the fundamental aspect of fueling your workouts and how we ought to be adjusting our macronutrient intake according to our menstrual cycles, and why our bodies process carbs, fats and proteins differently to men's, and we do, and that's really important. And then even more so differently during certain phases of our menstrual cycle too. So we'll have a look at some pre-race, race day and post-race nutrition, and we'll explore some cycle-specific nutrition and how our hormones affect our carbohydrate and fat metabolism and how to adjust it. So some practical tips again on how to eat and how to fuel during each stage of your cycle for better energy and performance, but also for recovery too. And then finally we'll just touch on some really important supplements for female triathletes and a little bit on hydration as well. And then our final chapter, chapter 6, we are going to delve into mental strength and resilience. So we're going to have a look at building mental toughness for triathlon, how to manage our anxiety, our mental fatigue during both training and competition phases. So we'll have a look at how we can use mental conditioning to focus improve our focus, improve our resilience, especially during triathlons. And if you're a long distance triathlete, this is really good for you too. We'll have a touch on exploring positive body image and overcoming challenges by addressing some of the psychological barriers such as comparison, body image issues. But this relates directly onto our menstrual cycle as well, because our bodies physically change as we progress through the cycle. So we'll have a look at that and how to deal with our changing bodies each month too. As a quick summary or a de-summary, this course provides a scientifically backed approach to our training and our nutrition, our recovery, and it's all designed specifically for women. I've said before, I've spent years researching this course to bring you, which is in my opinion, the best, most practical information to help you supercharge your training. I'm not going into all the really deep, dark science bits. I'm bringing you just the practical tips that you can take away, that you can implement, and you can feel confident that you're making positive changes for your training. So there will be some help sheets and tools throughout the course to equip you with everything that you might need to help you train smarter, to race stronger, and to recover faster. So if that sounds good, let's get started.